So what happened, believe it or not, I wrote my sister, who is a doctor in Los Angeles, one of my nephews, her oldest son was going to go to college. So she said, Cherif, can you write something to him? He respects you so much. Write something to him. They're going to read it in the class. Everybody has a parent, a family member writing something. So I started thinking, I said, how can I really give him something impactful? So I wrote the steps to success. So I wrote it for him, and it just came out to be 12 steps, like how I made it. So for example, like first step is you get a job to learn leadership, and you learn this and that. The second one is you start saving and building credit, and how you do that. How do you build credit? Under your name, under a company name. Number 3, how you actually start investing and making money. What's the first step to do? Do you flip assets? Do you just buy and hold? What do you do? So I explained how it's done, and then next level, and how do you have asset protection? How do you reduce taxes legally? So I wrote 12 steps to total amazing, leaving a legacy, and you could be done by age 40, if you will, in a very high level of income. I mean, like beyond belief. So when I sent it to him, he contacted me back, said this was amazing. They loved it in the class. They had us read it twice. People wanted copies, etc. And I said, is it okay if I put it as a blog, one of my blogs? He said, okay. So I put the blog out there. And a couple of days later, I got a call, and they said, oh, this is from Steve Forbes' office, and we're very interested in having you. Steve Forbes want to talk to you and would like you to co-author a book with him, because you can elaborate on these, and this is just phenomenal. And would you be willing to come to New York and speak to the audience in the New York Marriott Marquee? And I thought somebody is pranking me. I said, this is somebody I know trying to play a game. It's like, Steve Forbes' office in New York? Yeah, sure. Send me the tickets. Here's my email. Yeah, let's do it. 5 minutes later, I get an email. Here is the address. We need it to be at that day, this time, and contact this person. And I called back, and sure enough, I went to New York, met Steve Forbes, and we co-authored that book. Actually, there are some other people as well. I have a whole chapter, which was the longest chapter, and did the video about it on YouTube, the 12 steps and all this. And, I have also another book called Blue Ocean Opportunities in Commercial Real Estate, where I explain to people about the corporate guarantees, how you can get these big tenants, and they give you corporate guarantees, and it guarantees the lease for 10, 15 years. So I try to share as much as possible, and Steve Forbes noticed that these 12 steps were very succinct and very clear, and anybody can follow them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, when we connected, I did a business meeting in New York City, and me and Steve Forbes started to collaborate and had a powerful conversation right there in the hotel.
Great.
And he was like, what do you do? And I told him, I interview powerful people all over the world on my podcast show. He was like, oh, you know what? Let's collaborate. And I already knew his personal assistant, and I landed the interview, and he has provided a lot of tremendous value to me, and I provided a lot of tremendous value to him just through the power of relationships. So your network is very, very key when it comes to excelling to the next level.
Very true, very true. And actually, when I was a kid, I used to read about his father, because he had a castle in France, and the billionaire Edmond Bessari, who I worked for, had a castle in France. And Malcolm Forbes, who was the father, used to ride these Harley motorcycles. It was like a real wild guy, so it was always interesting. We chatted a little bit about his dad and all this.